Welcome to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. If you would like to support this channel, please hit the like button and consider subscribing if you enjoy the content. And now, let's start with the first story. It's called No More Overtime. I'm a diesel mechanic that works for one of the largest two fleets in the United States. My job is to work offsite for a single customer, which is one of the largest middlemen of the product they ship in the US. My job is to load up my truck at the shop with parts and oil, travel to the customer site, take inventory of the units on their yard, compare the list to overdue and coming due services, work on the customer write-up list, work on our internal company campaign list, send an email and internal memo about any truck I work on and receive info about, pay attention to the internal group text, keep up on my training online, do repairs on site, and look at drive-ups as they come in. I have to keep track of everything. It took some getting used to, but I'm decent at it now. In the state I work in, the law states that during our required 30-minute meal period, we are to be paid if we remain on the clock. I have to do anything work-related during the meal period. During my first few days, I clocked out for lunch, but was immediately interrupted by a drive-up. Our timekeeping program has no allowances or adjustments to state that I had to work on my meal period. I don't mind working when I'm trying to eat, so I simply don't clock out for lunch as I tend to nibble through the day anyway. The customer likes that I'm available, and I get 30 minutes of overtime every day. With the days I work, I get 2 hours of overtime every week. If I work a day extra, I get a lot more. The customer is happy, which makes my boss happy, which gets me more money and makes me happy. Win-win-win. Last week I was notified by my company that we are now on 0-minute overtime and we must take our lunches and breaks. No problem. I'm pretty compliant because my boss is cool. I was also told that we can no longer do any repairs or services on site. They have to be done at the shop. Again, no problem. I don't really care where they want them done. Any overtime has to be pre-approved by my boss's boss's boss. I've worked with him in the past and he's also pretty cool, but he's very busy and rarely responds right away. Here's the malicious compliance part. I now come back to the shop for my breaks and lunch near the end of the day because I'm not interrupted here. That's an hour not at the customer's yard. I also have to come back here to do services, so I'm rarely at the customer's yard now. As any overtime requests got mostly unnoticed, I don't do any more overtime. I get drives up during the day and I have to tell the drivers to contact corporate, as I have to adhere to these new rules or I'll be fired. The broken down tractors and trailers are piling up in the customer's yard because I'm barely there. And they are piling up in the shop yard because I now spend most of my time driving back and forth and the staff count at the shop hasn't increased. No overtime, more driving in circles, much less actual work done. The next story is called Speak to the Manager. A few years ago, I worked as a cashier at a fast food restaurant. I don't eat fast food, so I don't know how it is with other places. But with this establishment, nothing was free. Do you want sauce with your tacos? That's 50 cents, please. Substitute your sour cream with guacamole? Sorry, you have to pay for that. You want ranch with your salad? That will be extra. All of these prices were very prominently displayed on a giant menu in the middle of the lobby, by the way. Now, I was paid minimum wage. I, nor any of the other cashiers, could not give a damn about all that. It also made the prices ridiculous, as a lot of customers naturally wanted add-ons. So usually we wouldn't charge for most of those things, but we could only get away with that when our manager was not in the front, as she was the strict type. The yell at you in front of the customers for giving away a free sauce type. On a slow day, an older woman walked in and ordered a salad. By the time it got to the register, she's loaded it with a bunch of extras. To be completely honest, there was no rhyme or reason for what I choose to charge people for. It really depended on my mood. The salad was pretty accessorized, so I felt like I had to charge for something. But I was having a good day, so I just rang her up for the salad and extra guacamole, and that's all. It was something like $12.50. She immediately started to complain about the price. I explained to her that it was $11.50 for the salad and $1 for the guacamole. That's ridiculous. It shouldn't cost that much just for a salad. Even $11 is way too much. I'm sorry ma'am, but that's the price that's on the menu. Why did you raise the price so high? A salad should not cost that much. I tried to explain that I was only a cashier and did not, in fact, control the menus, but she would have none of it and only grew increasingly rude. Then she dropped the classic, dreaded line. Can I speak to your manager? I hesitated, looked her in the eye and said, you don't want to do that. No, get me your manager, right now. So I went to the back and told my manager that there was a customer who wanted to speak with her. She came to the register with me, looked at the salad, looked at what I rang up, and immediately started going off about how I didn't add the salsa, the chips, the house dressing. I was used to this, so I just stood there and stared at the customer as my manager screamed at me. The customer stared back, dumbfounded, as my manager took over the register, corrected the order, and left without acknowledging her at all. The salad came out to be around $16.50. The woman paid and left without another word. The last story is called Not Fair. I used to work as a doorman at a bar that charged a $2 cover on weekend nights. Everyone paid to get in with only one exception: party buses. We had an agreement with the different party bus operators that if they brought their groups to our bar, they would get in for free. Lively crowds are good for business. So one night I'm working and a guy comes in with his girlfriend and I tell him it's $2 a head. He grumbles about it and I give him the same line I tell anyone who complains. A $2 cover is the cheapest thing you will buy here tonight. If you can't afford it, you might want to go somewhere else. He doesn't want to look cheap in front of his lady, so of course he pays. A couple of minutes later he's back, saying he just talked to some people who didn't have to pay and wants to know why he got singled out. I tell him about the party bus rule and say those people must have come in on a bus. He motions towards some people sitting with his girlfriend and tells me, you didn't charge my friends and they didn't come on a bus. I recognized the people and when they came in, I asked them if they were from the bus and they said yes. So they lied to me. It happens and normally I wouldn't worry about it. I tell him, well, it sounds like I made a mistake. I guess it's their lucky night. That's my hint to him that he should let it go. That's not good enough for him though. He gets louder and keeps demanding I refund his $4 to keep things fair. I've had it with him. I tell him, you are right. It's not fair. Let me fix it for you. He smirks because he thinks he's getting a refund, but he doesn't realize all I'm giving is some sweet malicious compliance. The smirk disappeared when I stepped away from the cash drawer and walked over to where his friends were sitting. In my most polite voice, I said, hey, sorry to bother you guys, but there's a $2 cover tonight and your friend here told me you didn't pay. I must have misheard you when I asked if you were with the party bus, but I need to collect the cover from you now. The looks of betrayal they gave him were priceless. I collected the covers, smiled and loudly thanked him for being so honest. Then I walked back to my post and watched him proceed to rip him a new one. And with that, we end today's video. Let me know what you think about the stories. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the stories and today's video? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what I do and want to support me, please subscribe and hit the like button. I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Bye bye.